Out.
3rd and 13. New quarterback in for the Indians. Steele the catch at the 50, brought down to the 42. Lots of flags on Wendell. I believe it's a world record flags out there.
Well,
there's another one. So
well, we got how many?
4 flags.
We got 4 flags. Well, I think Choctaw was in motion for one thing. I think Robbie Naylor threw that ball past the line of scrimmage.
Well, it wasn't Naylor. It was Zebanowski.
Oh, Zebanowski.
Zebanowski. I'm sorry. Brian. I'm sorry, Brian.
I think that he was beyond the line of scrimmage when he threw the football.
So we're going to find that out. When you tag them all along, how many are they going to be? About 400 yards.
Well, okay, motion against Choctaw. Illegal forward pass against Choctaw. And what were the other 2? Maybe they just cancel each other out.
Well, they just wanted to make sure they had it covered.
The thing about the illegal forward pass is that's a loss of down, I think. I'm not sure.
I believe you're correct.
If he puts his hands on his head like, oh, no, that means that I don't know what the debate here, guys. The motion penalty is 5 yards. The illegal forward pass is 15 or 5. Some places. Anyway, it's a bigger penalty and loss of down, I think. And they have to explain every option.
I believe we're going to mark them off.
Against them. Decline. Illegal forward pass. They're going to take that one. Loss of down. There it is.
Oh, my. That's the oh, my call.
Don Deneen has been around a long time, and he does those signals real good. He finally got it down after all these years.
Oh, my goodness. We're in trouble.
Olin Obar is the umpire behind the line there. The referee, of course, Don Deneen.
Naylor, he stood in that 10-yard zone there quite a few times here this evening. This time, boy, he hits a boomer. It turns over. The ball will hit at the 30.
Boy, you can't ever pick it up. You got plenty of time. Uh-oh.
It'll go to the 18. He was standing at his own 8. The ball at the 22.
Wait a minute. You're going to be doing the math.
I'm going to try and math play it.
About 60 yards. Let's just say
long ways. How about a long ways?
But the win tonight is behind Naylor, but that's the sort of thing Naylor can do, though. He's got a good leg. And, boy, you've just got to play back just a hair deeper when the wind is blowing against you. Fabian that time was not able to catch it. And just like that, field position has changed.
Vikings running play. Flag on the play. Looks like fouling there to the near side.
I'd like to see what this penalty called by the back judge, way back. Oh, a face mask against Choctaw. Whoa. Oh, that's John Townsend, the Viking linebacker there, number 35. John, outstanding, good speed, runs to the football real well. A lot of people are interested in John. He got good grades. Almost a 4.0.
Face mask by the Indians. The ball, it'll take it out to the 31. 2:25 left here in the second period. The Vikings on top, 12-7.
Well, just like that, the field position changed. A big penalty like that.
I'll tell you what, Naylor changed the field position with one kick of that foot. Roberts. Boy, he turns it up inside. They tried to strip him. They'll take it to the 38.
Boy, I tell you, Robbie, that's his brother. Drew, he'll never let me live that down, but Drew runs hard. And he's the difference in the ball game. There's Russ Steele and Coach Mayer, the defensive coordinator of Fort Walton. Coach Mayer used to be at Niceville, so he's familiar with playing good defense.
Roberts turns the corner. Excellent move. Out to the 50. Twist turn, stays inbounds to the 48. First down for the Vikings. I tell you what, look like a dead burn running back there coming out there on the outside.
Jamie Neighbors over there on the stop. And
as Coach Bowden would describe it, an excellent dead burn run.
Good run, good run. Well, didn't we say that Drew may be the difference tonight, all things being equal? We hadn't, we'll say it again.
I'd say so far, that's the clue.
And field position did a big part tonight. Choctawhatchee's defense had to pin Fort Walton back deep in their territory to change the field position. But that big 15-yard face mask penalty got Fort Walton out of the bad field position. Of course, Drew Roberts, a couple of runs has broken it. Now the Vikings had a good chance to score before they go in at the halftime.
.127, the clock stopped. 1st and 10 for the Vikings at the 48. Roberts, the quarterback keeper. No gain, maybe one. Looks like Mike Kellen that time. A little help by Tony McCoy.
You have a quarterback that can run as hard as Drew. You can run a lot of counters. It's almost like a crossbuck with your tailback. Drew, a little fake to the fullback, step back on the other side on a little counter. And if Mike Kellen hadn't been there, it would have been a longer run.
2nd and 9, 1:05, the clock running. Roberts drops the pass, pulls it down. He's got an excellent block on the corner. He'll get out of bounds at the 32-yard line.
Now you say the good decision making by Drew, because had he cut back, he might have gotten more yards, but the clock would have run. But he stayed on the sideline, got out of bounds, and given the Vikings another chance to get some more plays in, stopping the clock. Decision making is what you like in quarterbacks.
Good shield block that time by Daniel Reed to break him on the outside.
Good block by Daniel.
They'll bring Reed to the near side, Cuvion to the far side, Porter out there in the twins. Roberts drops the pass, good protection. It breaks down, but Roberts still on his feet. Sacked back to the 48-yard line. The continued effort there.
Well, that's the only thing you couldn't.
Bobby Barnes pulls him down.
You don't want to, a sack will take you out of everything. Field position, and Drew almost escaped.
He pulled the Houdini for a little while. 39 seconds left here in the period. And the only person who may have watched all of these games in the booth with us, Miss Diane Conroy. Have you missed any of these Choctaw Fort Walton games, Miss Conroy? Not a one. Our little boom mic.
Hey, you're very observant here.
I am observant.
You're almost a technician.
No, I can't go that far.
Yeah.
We'll leave that up to Mr. McNulty.
Miss Conroy says that's scary. What is it? What is this facial hair? You're running from the...
It was a little chilly.
Yeah.
Didn't shave this morning.
Yeah. We were just commenting about that. We don't know if he's hiding from predators or what.
A Halloween costume. 2nd and long. Roberts, he'll take it out of bounds to the 42. 3rd and about I'd say a sand wedge.
A sand wedge? You hit a sand wedge from here, you'll be over the... What kind of sand wedge do you hit? If you hit a sand wedge from now, you'd be over past the telephone pole.
That's a 25-yard little sand wedge there. .33 seconds. I believe the temperature's dropping too, Wendell.
Feels great.
Roberts drops the throw. He's got a receiver open. Great play that time. Antonio McCoy right there at the last second to come in there and break it up. Intended there for, all right.
Damai Degenerate. Degenerate.
The sophomore.
The sophomore. Normally a tile.
I left that one to you.
Now, that's the type of pass, that seam, that you don't want to quite put enough air under it. You got to throw it a little bit ropier, like a rope.
Ropier?
Yeah, I just coined that phrase tonight.
I have to look that one up. Roberts kicking to the corner. A high spiral. Fair catch called for by Steele. He was in there pretty tight. I'm not so sure.
I know, and Waylon Cotton, I think number 84 was, no, that was Waylon.
That was Waylon. I thought they were going to reach for one of those flags and hankies.
Well, when you're a coach on the sideline, there's only about 18 seconds. You go, I wish he wouldn't catch this one, because your heart skips a beat, because if he drops it, now you're giving the other team a chance to get something before the half. I think Fort Walton has dropped back in deep coverage. What do you think?
Prevent defense. The give inside 23, Lance Williams. You pick up a 1 or 2. They're continuing to let the clock run out. 9-8. The Indians will be happy to go in here 12-7 at the halftime. You know, 2 of the top bands in the country here performing at halftime with, of course, the halftime queen, Miss Diane Conroy. Stick around. Some exciting halftime action here in a moment.
Sears, the store you know, is now close to home with a brand new store in Crestview. You'll find the same great selection of brand names and the same exact sale prices too. But at Sears and Crestview, you get the best of both worlds with hometown service and big city selection. Come in and find home appliances, home electronics, Craftsman hand and power tools, supplies, lawn and garden equipment. It's all there. Sears of Crestview, Highway 85 North at 3rd Avenue. The store you know is now close to home.
Vince, they're really cracking down on safety belts these days.
What's up, officer?
I'm giving you a ticket for committing an 811.
Safety belt violation.
Compliments of Barney Fife.
We never wear safety belts. We're dummies.
Weisenheimers.
He gave us a ticket.
Man's got to do what he's got to do.
Watching Cox Communications Channel 6, your local community-minded station.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Diane Conroy in the booth for the umpty-umpth time, bringing you the halftime show between Fort Walton Beach and Choctahatchee. And as they said, going out of the first half of the ball game, 2 of the finest bands in the state. Taking the field right now, the Choctahatchee Style Marchers under the field direction, drum major Jamie Ledoux. Choctaw is playing first, of course, because it's Fort Walton's home game this year. They swap off. Comes the salute from the drum majorette. First number is from composer Shostakovich, an excerpt from his Festive Overture. show is music from the movie The Mask of Zorro. Style marcher, musical arranger Carol Ann Wooden has put together a medley of 3 songs from the movie played as one. There are 4 solos in this medley. You'll have a tuba solo by Mike McAllister, a trumpet solo by Jacob Dockery, another trumpet solo by Matt Eastrom, and to introduce the final part, which is the love song from Zorro, a piccolo solo by Katie Kitchens. Music from The Mask of Zorro. Mike McAllister on the tuba.
Mr. Mike McAllister.
And now our trumpet solo by Jacob Dockery. Trumpet solo by Matt Eastrom. Here comes our piccolo solo by Katie Kitchens. Catch the band on the 50-yard line. Come on, there they are. And now guess what? Here it comes. Everybody on their feet. Everybody get ready to yell. Ladies and gentlemen, the Choctaw Style Marchers. Band director is Randy Nelson. Associate director Nancy Thiele. Color guard directors Chad Berkestresser, Joyce Harrison, Laura Martin, and Tiffany Alexander. Percussion directors David Cohealy, Benja Russell, Jeff Kent. Kelly D. Musical arranger is Carol Ann Whitten. And we will be right back with the Fort Walton Beach High School section of this halftime right after this word.
The shimmering Gulf of Mexico, the majestic Atlantic Ocean. These are the settings for the hard work, dedication, and pride of Florida's fishing tradition. Passed down through generations, fishing remains a way of life for those who bring Florida's bounty home to your table. And while their labors may go unnoticed, their harvest is always treasured. Florida's fishermen, from the boat to the dock to your table, their efforts make seafood a part of your life.
Sears, the store you know, is now close to home with a brand new store in Crestview. You'll find the same great selection of brand names and the same exact sale prices too. But at Sears in Crestview, you get the best of both worlds with hometown service and big city selection. Come in and find home appliances, home electronics, Craftsman hand and power tools, supplies, lawn and garden equipment. It's all there. Sears of Crestview, Highway 85 North at 3rd Avenue. The store you know is now close to home.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, the Fort Walton Beach High School Band performs. They take the field under the field direction of Drum Major Shannon Carnathan. The band will open with Fanfare and Flourishes by band composer James Curnow. This number will feature the color guard led by seniors Oniki Gardner and April Whitbeck. And there will be a percussion feature by the Viking drum line led by senior Jans Veldkamp. Ladies and gentlemen, the Choctaw the Fort Walton Beach High School Band.
The band is under the field direction of drum maker Shannon Carnathan. The band opens with Fanfare and Flourishes. The color guard is led by Oniki Gardner and April Whitbeck. You'll also hear a feature number in here, led by Jan Veldkamp.
There's the drum solo. Tonight's second selection is a standard from the world of jazz. It is St. Louis Blues. Senior twirler, of course, for the Viking band is Amy Senzig. St. Louis Blues. There she is. It's Amy. case you haven't noticed, while that number was being played, the All-American Dolls came forward, and they're dance line with the jazzed-up musicians Chris Killingsworth, Austin Smith, Ben Aycock, and Nathan Dubois. They make up our trumpet quartet. Senior band captain Jillian Aycock is trombone soloist. The All-American Dolls are led by Beth Chambliss, Leslie Scott, Deborah Vanderveer, and Holly Land. And here they go. Charleston there.
The All-American Dolls are led by Beth Chambliss, Leslie Scott, Deborah Vanderveer, and Holly Land.
Tonight's final selection is a tribute to one of the world's greatest singers of popular music. Features a medley of Strangers in the Night and My Way. Join us in a tribute to Frank. Tonight's trumpet soloist is senior Katie Bach.
Instructor for the All-American Dolls, Ann Hibson. Choreographer for the All-American Dolls, Christina Johnson. The Viking drumline, arranger and instructor, Steve Carter. The Viking color guard and choreographer and instructor, Claire Ballard.
Ooh, Amy Senzig's over there playing with fire.
Yes, she is.
The Viking Band. Band director Ernest Hebson, assistant band director Randy Folsom. Ann Hebson is the instructor of the All-American Dolls. Christina Johnson is choreographer for the All-American Dolls. Steve Carter is the arranger and instructor of the Viking Drumline, and Claire Colon, choreographer and instructor for the Viking Color Guard. I am Diane Conroy, and we will be back with the second half of this ball game right after this.
Sears, the store you know, is now close to home with a brand new store in Crestview. You'll find the same great selection of brand names and the same exact sale prices too. But at Sears in Crestview, you get the best of both worlds with hometown service and big city selection. Come in and find home appliances, home electronics, Craftsman hand and power tools, supplies, lawn and garden equipment. It's all there. Sears of Crestview, Highway 85 North at 3rd Avenue. The store you know is now close to home.
I'm Michael Dorn. I play the Klingon warrior Worf on Star Trek The Next Generation. Worf spent years getting an education Starfleet required. Now, he's a skilled and respected member of the elite Enterprise crew.
Worf to Enterprise.
Go ahead, sir.
Beam me up.
To reach your goals in the 21st century, you'll need a good education. So be patient, stay in school, and graduate.
Brought to you by the Air Force, because we know the value of a good education.
Third quarter action. Alan Winslet, Wendell Brock here. Wendell, for all the marbles, I tell you what, you can certainly feel it in the air tonight. Cool breeze in, crosstown rivals, and what would you call bragging rights, man, for a lifetime here at Joe Etheridge Stadium. The Vikings on top, 12-7.
Now this is very curious here. Fort Walton received the kickoff. It turned out to be good for Choctaw. But Fort Walton had the ball first, and now they're going to get the ball first in the second half. I think what happened in the flip is that the Choctaw player was supposed to defer, but didn't. Made a choice to kick, and now they have to kick twice.
Well, Naylor will choose to kick again then. He'll kick it into Porter this time at the 8. We'll take it up to the 15. Dodge a couple of Indians. I'll tell you what, he's got it on the corner here to the 30, the 35, to the 37-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Good field position and an excellent running there.
And a good runner always finishes his run. Jamie Neighbors had drawn a bead on Fabian Porter. Fabian stuck his helmet into him and really got after him and got an extra few yards. Fabian Porter, we mentioned earlier in the telecast, the key to the turnaround of the Viking offense, the play of Fabian Porter at tailback.
And the key tonight, the quarterback right there, Drew Robertson, playing just right there that game. The option on the corner, and once again to the 50, the 45, the 40, chased out of bounds at the 35-yard line. The patience, the leadership of the senior quarterback, the difference in tonight's game, tackled on the play by Rod Bryant.
And you see the quickness of Drew. You know, they have not defensed that play all night. It starts off, of course, with the fake of the dive option to James Fallon, and that holds the linebacker a little bit. But Drew Roberts, when he gets in the corner and gets his shoulders downfield, he's tough.
A lot of armchair quarterbacking going on, too, at halftime. I ran into some old friends of mine, and they were asking the same question. They said they could figure it out. He's running the ball every time to the 25 this time, 1st and 10. Rod Bryant again on the tackle, along with Mike Kellen.
We also spotlighted at the beginning of the show that all things being equal, I said that before, the difference tonight might be Drew Roberts. That's turned out to be true. The balance of power goes to Fort Walton with the senior quarterback and his good decision-making tonight.
I was fortunate to play in Game 2 and Game 3. The Vikings won both of those years back. And once again, when you're right, the bragging rights continues to Cuvion. Oh, in and out of the hands, incomplete. I thought that was another one. There's Mark. Boy, he's mad with himself.
Well, that's also part of the option. You fake the option and you drop back, and Cuvion ran a little fly pattern, and it hit him right between the 8 and 0. And you know that when the ball hits you in the chest, you're not going to catch it. You have to catch it with your hands away from your body. And Mark could have had his name in lights. Mark,
in the history books.
In the history books of this football game. And
quick give inside. James Fallon pick up a 2 maybe. He'll bang it up in there to about the 23. See where they put the foot down. At the 23. Second is, it'll be a 3rd and 8 for the Vikings. Good coach there. Good shot of Alan Cox, the head coach there of Choctaw. course, our cameraman's always here on the near side, so we're going to get more of the Viking coaches than we will the Indian coaches. Next year, we'll get with the Indian coaches and less of the Viking coaches.
Tackle there by Eddie Gray, and of course finished off by Jamie Neighbors, who's always pursuing the ball real well. And we're going to try a field goal. The first time I've seen Bobby Robinson attempt a field goal, although he's kicked a few this year. This is well within his range. He's got plenty of leg to get it there.
The ball to 28.
Bobby Robinson be attempting a field goal.
Snaps a little high. It's up, down, lots of leg, up, and no good. Well, it sure looked good from here. It's hard to tell with our angle. I'm sure they had a little better shot at it, but I tell you what, excellent attempt. Lots of leg there by Robinson.
Good timing there, too. Lots of pressure on the left side by Rod Bryant. There was some acting done there by Robinson, who was hit very slightly up on the heel, and they decided at the last minute, I better fall down and act like I got hit, but he doesn't get an award for acting.
Good hold that time, too, on a snap just a little high. 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 20. Toss sweep. Mosby out to the 28. Tackled on the play there by a few of the Vikings. Anthony McKinney there leading the way.
You know, the thing about it, the more football changes, the more it stays the same. That used to be a favorite play of the old single wing or split tee. Quick pitch, try to get outside, and there you have it returned. Just a quick pitch, try to get on the corner real quick to Dale Mosby.
2nd and 2, 1 maybe. Naylor, quick pitch out there to Mosby. Boy, he straightened up that time. Big hit. And he took the ball away from him. Woo. J.R. Grant, is that correct?
J.R. Grant, 5'6", 160 pounds of heart.
Thought he came up with the ball.
Looked like it to me.
Looked like it to me, too. I think he caught the man in the stripes off guard down there. Is that Mr. Obar down there?
Well, good. That is Mr. Obar.
Hey, we're on TV.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't happen too often.
I fill up that window, don't I?
Can they see my beard down there, do you think? That's my Halloween beard I'm working on. 8:43. McCoy on the carry. We're TV celebrities.
Knife down on the inside. Looks like Troy McLean, number 45 for Fort Walton.
I wore my neutral Florida State hat tonight. I didn't want to wear my red or my blue.
Well, I have a hat, but it's not neutral, but it won't fit on top of the headset, so I got rid of it.
Yeah, I guess we should be looking at a camera, not this monitor we have right
Oh, we didn't get to wave to our mama, because our mamas won't see this anyway, I guess.
2nd and 9. Naylor, quick pitch out there to Mosby. He's on the corner, but pulled down from behind. Troy McLean, excellent defensive play. Looked like he had a lot of running room. But Troy stopped that one in a hurry.
And he, of course, a little theatrics here. I don't know, did they flag that in high school, excessive celebration?
That wasn't excessive. Do a back flip, maybe. I'd call it excessive.
I hate that penalty anyway. I don't really like celebration, but I also don't like it penalized because it's such a nebulous or call.
3rd and 8. Naylor drops the pass. Oh, almost intercepted. Good play that time by Fabian Porter, right on Mosby. Hit him right as he got the ball. They'll bring up a punt situation, 4th down. Good shot there to the Vikings, once again on the sidelines. And once again, you got to mention the excellent camera work that time by Cox Cable. They're doing a wonderful job. Rick McNulty with his whole crew. It looks like the Vikings are piled in there. They'll hold them up. Naylor, unbelievable punt. Unbelievable to the 12. A lot of problems back there. There's a flag on the play. Fabian Porter, I tell you what, man, he was in trouble before he knew it.
Well, he got clubbed down there, and there's a yellow flag there, and I don't know what. This may be against the Vikings. There's a Viking down at the bottom of that pile. Might have been blocking from behind, and that's going to make it worse because half the distance. There's Coach Cox there in the middle.
And just a great guy. I tell you what, Alan Cox, you know, he's struggled the last couple years with his teams. Got a lot of young players. They play with heart. They play all the time and continuous effort. And just a fine coach there, Alan Cox.
This is going to go against the Vikings. It's going to be half the distance. And you can see what that slight wind behind Robbie Nader does. Robbie Nader, excuse me. Oh, no, it's a face mask and a clip. They're going to offset. Okay. That's puzzling. It must have got both of those on one penalty, one flag. Two penalties, one flag. Never seen that before.
I guess that's why the Lord gave you two eyes. There you get them. They're bundled up.
And I'd like to see them get excited, too, talking about the fans here.
A little tough with your hands underneath the blanket. I believe they'll run the option. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. The ball sitting around the 12. Good shot there of Roberts. Chase from behind. The ball's loose. I believe the Indians have come up with it. The play developed a little slowly. Mike Kellen hits him. Is that from behind? Is that right?
Yep. Mike Kellen caused the fumble. I don't know which one of the Choctahatchee Indians got on it, but he was coming on a hard, they call it a blitz, I guess, Red Dog, some people call it. That's the old name, but he got in behind and was quick enough to get to Drew, and just like that, another fumble sets up Choctahatchee.
Nathan Cross, Ed Gray, both in there on the fumble recovery, and I tell you what, the great field position here for the Indians at the 8-7 maybe.
And we talked about earlier about Choctahatchee's linebackers. Kellen is as good as anybody around. There's the reverse.
Well, I tell you what, he made it all on his own that time. Isaiah Porter. Anthony McKinney on the tackle there for the Vikings.
That time Troy McLean did a better job of turning that back to the inside. And you have to not let Isaiah Porter get to the outside. If he gets outside you, he was going to walk in and score.
I guess that would be a Viking fan. So you see those red jackets. Either a colorblind Indian fan, one of the two. 2nd and goal from the 7. Zebanowski in for quarterback and in the corner. Catch. Bosby on the catch. Touchdown, Indians. Brian Zebanowski comes in for the throw, the junior. And Wendell, just like that, we've got another ball game.
Well, they had, what they did is they put a slot right, and Fort Walton shifted their defensive backs over there, and they had one defensive back left on the left side. They got Mosby into the flats, nobody to cover him. Mosby has to be covered by a linebacker. And the play action held the Fort Walton linebackers, and good call by Choctahatchee.
Indians going for 2. Stopped short. Naylor tried to stick it in, but I'll tell you what, good defense that time. Got a couple players up there. Eric Smith in there for the tackle, along with, looked like McLean, a couple of the down linemen. And just like that, Wendell, I'll tell you what, another ball game here. The Indians, they're trying to win this game.
Well, there's no doubt that this could make their season, and I thought they turned it around against Rutherford the second half. Rutherford ranked high in the state. I don't know what they were, ranked at least as high as 5th. And the team to beat in Choctahatchee's district, and Choctahatchee came out in the second half, held them scoreless, and they scored 14. Then, of course, they played the Georgia team, which obviously wasn't the same caliber as Choctahatchee, but they have been doing a lot of good things. Their offense has been in gear, and their defense has always been the heart of their team. And tonight, the defense have gotten 2 turnovers. Both have led to the scores, and just shows you what Choctahatchee is capable of doing.
6:26 left in the 3rd period. The Indians on top, 13-12, into the end zone. A touchback that time. Looked like Fabian Porter there had his foot in and the ball in and everything else in. He was toe lining it, but not good enough. But the Indians on top now, Wendell.
There's so many things that ebb and flow of a football game that changes momentum. That punt of Nader set up the defensive play that caused the fumble that led to the score. And so 2 kicking game. You might attribute both fumbles to kicking game, losing the kicking game, and that's what Coach Rankin was afraid of losing the kicking game.
1st and 10 to give, this time Fabian Porter. And I'll tell you what, the Indians stepping up the defense and the attitude out there.
Running to the football, real good. Mike Kellen once again in the bottom of that.
One thing, like you said, not only the momentum changes, but the attitude changes of the players.
Everything. And, you know, the other part of that the kicking game. It's also turnovers. Fort Walton right now, 2 turnovers, and both of them leading the scorers. And Choctaw has not turned the ball over yet, which they have been plagued by in recent weeks.
2nd and 8 from the 22. Roberts drops the pass under some heat, pulls it down out to the 30, the 35, out of bounds at the 39-yard line. Once again, the senior leadership and excellent running by the quarterback of Palm Beach High School.
Run out of bounds by Tony McCoy, but picked up a great block on the outside from John Townsend, who also plays tight end from time to time. I think it was him, number 35.
The ball out to the 40, 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Trailing by 1 here with 5:39 left here in the 3rd period.
There's a shot of the defense. 84 is Waylon Cotton. 61 there, Donatelli for Fort Walton.
Porter, the keeper, behind some excellent blocking and runs his heart out to the 44-yard line inside Indian territory. Rod Bryant on the tackle for the Indians along with Mark Kemp. And the Vikings continue to be running the ball at will.
The offensive line, Culberth, Van Dyke, Odervoth, and Koski doing a great job, along with Mike Mangum, the sophomore tight end on the right side. They're a good football team.
1st and 10 from the 44. Give Porter, good block in there. He cuts, still on his feet to the 25, the 20, the 15, down to the 12-yard line of the Vikings. Voth out there on the outside. I tell you what, with some excellent blocking. Demario Thomas there on the tackle.
And you said it earlier, Alan, also that he followed his blocking. You know, Voth was out there in front of him. He let him make his block and picked his way and got the yardage. How many times do you see a lineman out front making a block in the back, not wait for that block to be made before he makes his cut?
1st and 10 from the 13. Roberts, quick pitch out there to Porter. I tell you what, hit deep in the backfield, but spins and turns. Mike Killen knocks him out of bounds.
Well, Killen missed him initially. It's Rod Bryant and Jamie Neighbors that got over and finished him up. But and we've also said this: good running backs make the first guy miss. And
well, he's a good hurt running back. Looks like he's limping on the play.
Neighbors and Bryant both came over there and finished him up real well. And that shows the intensity of the Choctahatchee defense. They'll strike you, especially Jamie.
2nd and 5. The ball sitting around the 7. Motion Riggs. Roberts, some running room to the 4, the 3, the turn. Touchdown, Vikings. The Indians look like a little over pursuit there.
Well, there you say the decision-making of Drew Roberts, and that's the same thing he scored on earlier, the little keep to the outside, but instead of trying to get to the outside, he picked his way and cut right behind the pursuit and got out the end zone. And a very impressive offensive series by Fort Walton. Very consistent. The line blocked real well, and there's a Viking crowd getting excited on their feet. Hey.
Trying to stay warm.
Yeah.
Look at all those Vikings.
Yeah, we're talking about crowd etiquette. They got up on their feet and are clapping. That's good.
That's because they're so cold. They're trying to stay warm. Vikings going for 2. Little miss no,
the clock was about to run out on them.
It looks like they threw the flag, so maybe they did run out.
Well, why should they throw the flag? They beat it when he put timeout. Now, if they give a delay, when he made the signal for a timeout, there was 1 second left.
They're going to wave it off.
Procedure.
Procedure.
Okay. If you put your hands under there, you can't back up and do a timeout, can you? Is that a rule? Maybe we ought to study the rules. There's a rule like that. You put your hands under there. Well, that's John Townsend.
The rule I know is the team with the most points at the end of the game usually wins.
Well, I know if you put your hands under there and then bring them out, that's sort of an attempt to entice the defense to go offside. So that might have been the flag. There's a Don Deneen. He's been trying to retire the last 30 years. Been around a long time. I've yelled at Don Deneen a lot. Back in my coaching days. And if you've coached any length of time, you've done some yelling, I guess. Good official. steady, knows the rules.
Roberts drops the pass, looking for some running room. Into the corner. Complete. Touchdown, Vikings.
John Townsend, the tight end in there. That was a great throw by Drew to the outside, just in front of the, but a better catch in traffic by John Townsend, the linebacker.
Good for the 2 points and the extra. Put the Vikings on top 20-13, and you know, you never know when that 1 or 2 points makes all the difference.
Well, it's going to make the difference. The Choctaw was not able to turn their 2-point conversion, their last touchdown, and that what Walton has, that's the difference in the game right there.
And you got the Viking students on their feet. That's an excellent thing.
Good crowd. There's a kicking team. That's Coach Reed there in the middle, isn't it?
Yep, I believe so. There's McLean, Porter, Townsend.
Coach Reed, great guy.
J.R. Grant there.
Well, they got all their starters on there. McLean. You know.
Yeah, Townsend.
Fallon.
Ryan Kelly in there.
Vince McFadden, number 54. Number 7, Darnell King. Number 3,
McKinney.
Fabian Porter. He'll be
Thaddeus Rose here on the near side.
Well, all the low numbers there. You want good coverage.
All the low numbers. Robinson's going to kick it to the 6. McCoy takes it. Boy, I tell you what, he's got some room there. Good job of turning him inside by Thaddeus Rose. He had no help out here on the outside.
Tackle made by Thaddeus Rose, of course. Well, just a good run back there. Did you see Scott Newman trying to get Bobby? It was like chasing that chicken that chicken commercial where they put the Green Bay. Who does that? John Randall of Minnesota. Newman was John Randall, and Bobby was running around trying not to get hit by Scott.
As I remember, it ends up being a fried chicken at the end of the commercial.
Yeah. Bobby hung in there.
4:31 left here in the 3rd period. Naylor.
Here comes the reverse and the pass.
And he's got him wide open. Steele out here at the 35, the 30. Still on his feet to the 20. Chase from behind, the 5, the 2. Touchdown, Indians, just like that. A trick play. Williams congratulates him over there at the 10. And I tell you what, give it to Coach Cox to pull something out there.
Well, the trick plays have played a big part of this series, and they're the Choctaw Indians. A little reverse action there. They've never run that play. That's one they probably put in this week, and it was just there was nobody around. And, you know, you always wonder, your defensive backs, you're not supposed to step up until what? Till you know where the football is. If there's somebody behind you.
I believe that was Youngblood that threw that. Number 17, Earl, the junior.
Was it, or was it Jamar Harmon, number 19?
No, I believe it was 17. We're going to give you credit.
Well, it surprised us, too.
Not me. I'm never surprised. Indian fans on their feet with the holy moly.
And the thing about it, here's the big 2-point conversion.
Big green Indian.
Now, Choctahatchee, well, they're going to kick it. Well,
Naylor going to kick it.
Well, that's a good idea.
Try and tie the game here.
They thought about it momentarily, but, you know, you need to kick this and tie the football game.
Of course, you never know when they're going to fake it either.
They're going to kick this one.
Up, down. Boy, I tell you what, good. He drilled it, and I tell you what, excellent hold that time by Zebanowski.
Just as important as a kick to being able to handle that snap. Little low snap. Zebanowski put it on the tee. Naylor drilled it through.
4:18 left in the 3rd period. Wendell, we're back at a tie score, 20-20. The scoreboard says it all.
Well, you know what? I've been waiting a long time for a football game like this. Now, we say, well, it doesn't mean much. It always means something. It just, tonight, though, I thought this game was going to be special. Choctahatchee was been improving weekly. The Vikings had been improving weekly. This is the first home game for the Vikings in over a month. And what a homecoming to play Choctahatchee in a football game like this.
Big plays for the Indians.
Big plays, and Joey Rankin was afraid of that. He said he wanted to make them drive it, that they had big play capability, and you saw that in that last touchdown.
Naylor to kick it. Little wind at his back. It's going to send Porter into the end zone.
And that wind makes a big difference. You know, and let's talk about something. Remember we said that they might have erred in the coin toss and ended up giving the Vikings on offense both times. It turns out that both times the Vikings have lost field position, and if they fumbled and given Choctaw good field position, they've scored. So maybe they got them just where they want them.
Yeah. Divine intervention. Roberts, 1st and 10, the ball at the 20. Porter the give. Well, I'll tell you what, he got hit hard that time, 61.
That's Mark Camp.
Sure is. Camp, the senior.
Number 24, Jamar Shaw in there too, I think.
Camp made him pay. Concerned Viking fans.
And Camp also on the stop. Bring up a 2nd and 8.
Cuvion to the far side. Sterling Riggs here comes to the near side. Porter the lone setback. Roberts to call signal, 2nd and 7. 2nd and 8, 3:38 in the 3rd period. Roberts drops the throw, standing at the 15. Complete. Cuvion, 1st down, Vikings to the 32.
That's been there all night. It's just you got to pick your time when you throw it. Good throw by Drew. There you saw the other aspect of Drew. He's got a good arm. He can throw that deep curl. Good catch there by Mark. Charlene and Larry Cuvion, both teachers in this county. That's their son.
Bet he makes pretty good grades.
Yeah, he probably's better.
Porter on the outside. Slipped inside that time. Great play. Number 20, Mike Kellen. Tell you what, he picked a hole there between some red and snuck inside for a big defensive play.
That time Fabian's looking for a hold. He got to be just a hair quicker. The quickness of the Kellen and Neighbors.
2nd and 10. The ball's putting at the 32. 2:45. The clock continues to run. Tie score 20-20 here, Joe Etheridge Stadium. Read motion. Roberts. They swarm that one down. String it out. Good play that time of the defense. Scott Newman on the tackle there for the Indians.
Mark Camp there, and also Jamie Neighbors. Choctahatchee defense doing a great job here.
Loss of 3 on the play.
Shot at a Viking sideline there, number 32. That'll be Ryan Kelly. You know Ryan Kelly. He plays some defense.
Darnell King there standing next to him.
Big 3rd down play here. Of course, they're all big.
Twins to the near side. 3rd and 12. Roberts drops the pass. Under heat. Scrambles to the 32. Got a little running room. Boy, I tell you what, running all on his own. 1st and 10 for the Vikings. Inside Indian territory to the 46-yard line.
You know, shades of Marcus Alton. Remember when Marcus, when the year they won the state championship, every time there was problems like that, Marcus would break one up the middle. Of course, Marcus Alton now playing, holding the ball mostly for Florida State, but Drew Roberts, boy, he's had a great night tonight. He's had a hand in a lot of the scores, one way or the other.
His day will come. 1st and 10 for the Vikings from the 46. Roberts drops the pass. Throws high. In and out of the hands of number 19, Javon Harmon for the Indians.
I think that was intended for Fabian Porter, but it looks like to me it was overthrown. What do you think?
A little high.
Well, you know, he's open. That's the kind of pass you got to throw the ball right at the belt buckle. You got to hit him right in the 3.
Oh, you better throw it high, too. Harmon out there, 6'5".
Well, but Fabian's in that seam there between the defensive backs, and he's open, but that's a pass that has to be very accurate.
2nd and 10. Roberts, the keeper, to the 35, the 34, trying to get out of bounds at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 again for the Vikings. Vikings asking for a late hit. No call. Tony McCoy there pushed him out of bounds. Good play,
that was a good call.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We were talking about last week. That might have been flagged. I mean, if you breathed last week, you got a yellow flag. Of course, they're all yellow, aren't they?
Yeah. Mostly. Bean bags are not yellow. See those every now and then flying.
Well, this is a sort of a game of attrition. Who's going to blink first? Everybody's even up right now.
Roberts, once again, the 30, good move, runs into one of his own fellas, trying to help him block to the 22, close to the first down. Let's see if they'll put it down. You know he's got to be tired. He's done a lot of running tonight.
And Troy McLean then, and the tight end, I guess Troy McLean is at the wing there, and a tight end for Fort Walton. I guess that might have been Mike Mangum. They had Jamie Neighbors walled off. That's why Drew was able to get up in that little seam there and get that yardage.
2nd and a foot. Fallon and Porter here, the I formation. Roberts carries again. Good for the first down. Boy, I tell you what, he's getting hit hard every time by those Indians.
Jamon Harmon and number 26, Denario Thomas on that. And, you know, Joey's in a real dilemma here. You know, you don't have any choice. The hurricane caused a lot of problems. It actually washed out literally the Pensacola High game. They got to play Pensacola High Tuesday night, and that's a more important game than this one, you know. But
how in the world do you come back after 4 days and play another game?
I know. You got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and you can't get much.
Porter to the 5, 1st and 10 Vikings. I'm telling you, Van Dyke, Colbreth, Koski, Oder, Voth, man, they are just opening some huge holes there for the Vikings.
But the main problem, I mean, that's good, but the main problem is that Drew is such a factor on the wings. He just, you know, those linebackers are so acutely outside aware.
I don't believe they'll get this play off. They won't. The quarter will end. It's a tie score, 20-20. The Vikings knocking on the door. Stick around. Some exciting 4th quarter action here in a moment.
Sears, the store you know, is now close to home with a brand new store in Crestview. You'll find the same great selection of brand names and the same exact sale prices too. But at Sears and Crestview, you get the best of both worlds with hometown service and big city selection. Come in and find home appliances, home electronics, Craftsman hand and power tools, supplies, lawn and garden equipment. It's all there. Sears of Crestview, Highway 85 North at 3rd Avenue. The store you know is now close to home.
The Vikings 4th quarter action. Alan Wenzel with Wendell Brock here in the booth. And I tell you what, Wendell, the Vikings smelling pay dirt. Porter trying to get out there, slips, turns to the 3.
Well, that's a play designed to go north and south. You can't run to the short side sweep on goal line. You're going to have the pursuit get you. He had a seam there, and as strong as Fabian is, all he had to do was get his shoulders square, and he'd have been in there. I know you know, Fabian never played tailback before this year, so he's still learning. There are the Viking cheerleaders.
Fallon and Porter, eye setbacks. They'll give it to Porter. One-on-one. Porter wins the battle against number 2, Antonio McCoy. Touchdown, Vikings.
Well, I guess he knows more than we did. That time he did basically the same thing, but he did get his shoulders square. And it was a good seal block down to the outside there by the McLean and them on the right side. And so this is a good ball game.
It's a great ball game.
I'm almost sitting here just watching it instead of
forgetting we're supposed to be.
And maybe people would prefer we just watched it.
Roberts the hold. Robinson the kick. This time split the middle. Good. Play we kicked that one down there in the middle of Racetrack Road. And there's some Viking fans on their feet.
Well, we're looking back through the years. You know, we said earlier that Choctaw leads 15-12, but there's been some shootouts. We talked about 88, 31-24. We talked about 1991. That's the championship year of Choctaw 33, Fort Walton Beach 33, Choctaw 28. And then 1992, Fort Walton Beach 31 and Choctaw 7. And I meant the 1990 champions, Choctaw 28, Fort Walton Beach 17. So there's been some good close football games, a lot of scoring. Of course, we've had a few in the rain. 1975, I remember 7-0. I mean, it was so rainy here. Oh, wow. And we had a packed house.
And I tell you, like I say, I run into people. I saw some people tonight, Chuck Whitehead downstairs, guys that I played against years ago, still best friends, but still on the other side of the fence. And we still remind them, hey, we whipped you 20 years ago.
Well, I said 1991, but Choctawhatchee's championship was 1990, obviously.
20 years from now, these fellas probably be saying the same thing. Robinson, deep to kick. In and out of the hands of Isaiah Porter, touchback. The Indians will take it over 1st and 10 at the 20, trailing 27-20.
Well, Scott Newman is getting after Bobby Robinson, and Bobby Robinson is almost saying, what do you got? What's wrong with you? You're trying to, we always assigned somebody on the kicker, didn't you? I don't know whether to strike terror in his heart or what.
You never did worry about the kicker. That was the least of the worries. Looked like you were wasting a man if you did that.
But the thing about it, if you kick it in the end zone, you don't have to cover. Obviously.
The Indians trying to make a long drive here, starting at their own 20. Zebanowski, the quarterback, scrambles. He'll take it up to the 27. Donatelli there on the tackle for the Vikings.
We got a holding on Choctawhatchee.
Boy, this won't be good.
Boy, this ain't good. Bat also has played Choctawhatchee in games past. Big penalties at the wrong time. Of course, Choctawhatchee not been pretty penalty free tonight.
Let me get that right. That ain't good.
That ain't good. Well, you got to add a little color here.
Yeah, I'd call it incorrect grammar.
Pardon me, sir, but that doesn't bode well for the Choctawhatchee Indians when they start receiving so many penalties at inopportune times.
Bobby Walton needs to get you in his office first thing Monday morning and work on your.
Oh well, there's a language of teaching and then there's a language of sports.
Okay.
And that ain't bad as language of sports.
1st and 15, deep in their own territory. Zebanowski flirting with the end zone, chase from behind. He'll pull it down. He'll take it out to the 12. Pick up maybe about 4.
Boy, Eric Smith, it's slightly bad angle in his, from his linebacker spotter. He had Zubiniski back there. There's Coach Cox in the middle there. But there you saw good decision by Zubiniski.
I had the good fortune to be able to play golf with Coach Cox one time in a local tournament. Like I say, just a fine fella. Certainly want to wish him all the best all the time. Zebanowski throws deep to the outside. A couple of them fighting out there.
Just like
looked like Isaiah Porter out there. Intended for Isaiah.
Darnell King on the coverage, number 7 for Fort Walton.
Excellent coverage that time. There he is. Get those socks up. That's right. Pull them up. Pull them up. Pull them up. There you go.
Maybe that's coming back.
It's got one sock up.
When I played, the socks all the way up was the key.
There you go. Get the other. There you go, Darnell. Yeah, he's got it.
And now the socks are all the way up. They used to be all the way down. I guess they're going back to socks. Of course,
it's chilly. It's cold out there.
It might have a lot to do with the weather, like we say.
I'm telling you.
Big 3rd down play here.
3rd and 20. Zebanowski across the middle. Boy,
that was a good play. Fabian Porter, excellent play. The crossing pattern by Isaiah Porter there, but Fabian let him have it.
Give him a little push from behind, didn't he? Punt situation.
Good no call.
There's Coach Cox. He's asking that same question.
Well, no, he's asking, number 7. I guess that's.
I think it was 17. We missed it. I think it might have been Youngblood.
We can't see all these, can we?
Robbie Naylor to kick. Turns over good for him. I tell you what, excellent punting tonight by Robbie Naylor. Just, incredible punting. He's hit 2 boomers out there at 60 yards.
Well, that was a very effective punt because it was low and right directly into that wind. The Viking fans are on their feet, and that's good. You know, when the defense does something really well, get up and holler for them.
10:29 left here in the fourth period. Vikings on top, 27-20.
And this is one of those series that can make the football game. Fort Walton been able to control the line of scrimmage so far.
Pitch out there to Porter on the corner, cuts back. Good pursuit there by the Indians. Picks up 2 or 3. Let's see, he'll get it inside to Indian territory, spotted at the 49.5. Rod Bryant on the tackle there for the Indians.
And there you saw Drew running to his left and pitching with his left hand, which is it's an option quarterback. You got to pitch with either hand. But you get that ball on the outside like that, and that's going to open up running lanes for Drew. Of course, Drew has had running. He's created his own running lanes tonight.
And the fans are bundled up. You can see that. Cold weather out here. Chilly. We love it. Boy, he's trying to find some running room there. Pull from behind. Luck ran out. Mike Kellen found him sneaking around back there.
Boy, you don't want any negative yardage in this situation. And you see what running east and west does to you. Whenever you're running east and west, the pursuit can get you. You know, you just don't cause as much to happen. Of course, Drew was trying to make something happen, and I doubt if he could have turned up if he could have. There's Coach Salia and Coach Rankin. That's a good shot there.
What's it with the Star Wars? Is that the Star Wars headset?
Well, that's just a real good headset. You can hear what's going on.
I'm telling you.
Either that or he's listening to B105.
The ball intended. Good pass that time by Roberts. Intended for Cuvion. A little bit low.
Catchable. Catchable though.
Catchable. Mark.
You're a wide receiver. You got to catch those. You can't always catch the easy ones. You got to catch those difficult ones. Mark ran a good pad and a little curling. They've been successful with tonight, but it was a difficult catch. But if he's in his backyard on Saturday, he catches it every time.
Robinson trying to hold up the punting end for the Vikings. Standing at the 35. And boy, he hits a high long one again. The 10, it'll roll into the end zone.
Boy, just a little bit shorter, and it would have been a great punt.
I'll tell you what, both of these guys have just done some excellent punting tonight. Field generals in the kicking department. 8:58 left here in the fourth period. The Vikings on top, 27-20. The Indians with the ball 1st and 10 at their own 20. The blankets are out there, Wendell.
Well, you know, there's been Dwight Thomas, Bob Lyle, Lionel Fayard have had great success against Choctaw.
With Choctaw.
With Choctaw in this ball game. Of course, this is Alan Cox's second year, and every Choctaw coach has won.
Toss sweep to Mosby. Pulls a couple of Vikings down there. There's a good shot of them. 24-7, yeah. Darnell King and J.R. Grant.
I think Coach...
you know, it's easy when you get that good camera work. I'll tell you what, you want to mention these guys' names, Wendell. They do an excellent job. Les Gabbard, Kenny Nielsen, Scott Detweiler. And old Mr. Bobby. I tell you what, they're doing an excellent job. Of course, Cox Communicable brings you this as a courtesy. And that was a courtesy of the Vikings.
Looks like Troy McLean came on there and really...
a courtesy to Mr. Mosby right in his face. Pow!
Choctaw successful with that quick pitch to Mosby on the outside. That time the Vikings ready for it.
McLean.
There's hardly anything that Choctaw hasn't run and the Vikings don't know about it, but the whole key is execution. You execute your offense, it doesn't matter if the team knows what you're running. They don't know when you're running it.
Big third down play, 3rd and 6. The ball sitting at the 25. Naylor, toss sweep, Mosby on the corner. Oh, man, good play that time by Mosby to get the first down.
Great play. Tackle made by Joe Donatelli, but Mosby made John Townsend miss on the first as he got upfield there, and that's just a good run there by Mosby. The good backs make the first guy miss.
The senior, 5'10", 170 pounds, Dale Mosby. Still playing with lots of heart. Indians know they still can win this game.
No doubt, plenty of time.
7:20, the clock continues. 1st and 10 from the 32. Toss sweep to Mosby again. Well, I tell you what, right in the face that time, Troy McLean. Pow! Those hurt. John Townsend over there to help out. Good shot there, Jesse Colbreth.
Well, they're running a trips left there, and Fort Walton, of course, has to move their defensive backs to the wide side and overshift that way. That sort of isolates John Townsend and the defensive side on that side, Waylon Cotton, and with the quickness of Mosby, they figure they have a mismatch.
Coach Cox walking the sideline, nervous here. 2nd and 6. A lot of help out front. Vikings shut it down pretty quick. Coverage on the play. Ashley Reeves the carry. Joe Donatelli there, the tackle for the Vikings. It'll bring up a 3rd and 5.
But you know, the Choctaw Indians show a lot of consistency tonight on their offense. They haven't turned the ball over. They've blocked well at the point of attack. Their backs have run hard. They're really playing good football right now. This is one of those big 3rd down plays, of course.
3rd and 5 from the 37. Quick pitch outside to Mosby. The Vikings smell it out, though. Tell you what, McLean shut it down. Got a lot of help in there. 42, James Fallon. 4th down. 4th and about 7.
But once again, the field position is going to change slightly with Robbie Nader. It's Bobby Robinson and Robbie Naylor. Boy, they're mixing us up.
Naylor this time kicking into the
wind. Now, you can run into the guy when that ball bounces up there like that.
So. A little bit low.
Well, look at the bounce he got.
Great roll, out of bounds, stops the clock. You couldn't ask for more. 24-yard line, 5:21.
And see the big change of field position on the kicking game. Vikings will begin this deep in their own territory, and twice fumbles have been lost by the Vikings in this area. That's led to Choctahatchee scores.
Big plays by the Indians, and they need one here, Wendell.
Vikings need to hold on to the football and just drive it.
Porter still on his feet, turning up near the 1st down, out to the 32-yard line. And that running game just continues to eat the clock. Rod Bryant on the tackle.
Like number 83, Daniel Reed, getting up. Well, he's hopping around out there.
He needs to hop on off to the sidelines here. There you go. Got caught up underneath those ankles. Sometimes get caught underneath the pile. Sterling Riggs in to help him. Second and about a yard. Roberts, 1st down. Boy, I tell you what, good play that time, but the Indians trying to strip the ball.
They're going after that football almost every time, and Drew's going to have to squeeze that thing with 2 hands.
Jamon Harmon, man, he had his hands on it. I thought he was going to pull it out. 6'5", he's a strong boy, too.
Well, the coaches have seen something with Drew, and they feel that he carries that ball a little loose out there, and so they've been going at it. Remember earlier, they recovered a fumble inside the 9-yard line, and Mike Kellen knocked it out of Drew's hand. So they've spotted it. So Choctahatchee coach has done a good job preparing for this football game.
1st and 10. This time to give Porter flag on the play. No gain, maybe 1.
And we're going to have a holding penalty. It looks like to me against Jesse Colbreth. That's where they threw it.
Jamie Neighbors unpiles there.
But I thought that was an excellent block by Jesse. Now, I did see that. A lot of times you don't see holding penalties. They just happen there in the middle of the field. But that right there, thrown by the umpire. They threw it right at the feet of Jesse Colbreth. He was blocking on Tyshawn McNabb, I think. Or that's what the matchup is on my chart here.
Riggs will bring the signal in.
Or it might have been he was blocking on number 24 for Choctahatchee, Jamar Shaw, who's in there.
Boy, guys love this cold weather because those women, you know, they kind of have to get up in there, get warm. 1st and a long ways. Roberts drops the throws. Got a receiver. Caught that time. Good catch there. Number 6, Mike Mangum.
Mike Mangum, the sophomore, number 6. Oh, Michael was a lineman. As you see him up there, he was an offensive lineman. They moved him 6 foot 220. He caught a touchdown pass last week against UMS. That time, that was just an excellent throw and a good catch by Mike. Well, he's short.
Up a lot of yards, well, about a foot. Roberts. Boy, I tell you what, he dove for the first down.
You know, sometimes games are decided by good 1-yard runs.
Inches.
And that time, Drew, who was stopped initially but was able to spin forward and get the first down, and that's as important as a 20, 30-yard run sometimes when it's good for tough yardage. The only thing about this game also, of course, anything can happen right now. We spotlighted that at the very beginning that Fort Walton comes out of this game. Choctaw has given them everything that they could want, and they've been hit. They have really been sticking the Viking running backs, Fabian and Drew and James Fallon and them. And boy, can you get ready in 3 days for another football game?
Who knows? Porter up the middle. They're trying to strip that ball again. Excellent play to hang on to it there. Pick up about 5 in there behind Oder, Voth, Van Dyke. Rod Bryant on the tackle for the Indians.
Looks like Nathan Cross was there also. Well, Alan, I don't think we have a game next week. This one right here, when you hear this broadcast, of course, the next broadcast will be Monday at 6. One on Sunday, Monday at 6.
And then Tuesday, the live action. Now, where's Tuesday's game?
That's another flag.
Tuesday's.
You said you're over there, the Viking coach was saying, okay, we've gone the whole football game, and all of a sudden we get 2 holding penalties in a row. I don't know who that was on. I saw the other one. But that puts the Vikings 2nd and 13.
1:51 left here. The clock, the enemy of the Indians. Some Vikings up there celebrating already.
Well, it's too early to celebrate.
Quarterback keeper.
That's the draw.
Take it up to the 44. It's going to bring up a 3rd and 4. Big run that time.
It looked like Nathan Cross made the stop there. Or, no, number 33, excuse me. That'll be Kent Cowart made the stop. But that's in there. That's the first time they've run that tonight. It was a good time to run it. It's a safe play. It's a passing down. And Drew shows what we said earlier about looking like Marcus Outson, that draw. Does a good job running the quarterback draw.
Of course, the Seminoles always trying to get that little, logo in there. Always pulling for the Seminoles.
Well, Alan, this has been a good football game tonight. Minute 27. It isn't over. Strange things happen in these rivalries, fumbles and things of that nature. I remember one night we were getting ready for overtime, and I forget the name of, boy, how can I remember those kids? They're such. The Vikings had time for one play, and I thought they were going to sit in and go to overtime. They ran a little counter play, and they broke it for about 70 yards in the last play of the game and won the football game. I don't know why I can't remember those kids.
Now, there's some Viking fans.
There's a real Viking in the middle there.
There's a real Viking fan. You don't give static to a guy who comes in with horns on his head. Yeah. You can get respect with horns on your head. Big 3rd down play here for the Indian defense and the Viking offense. They'll come up short, about 2 yards short.
Ball given to Josh Fallon in there, but a good stop in there by Jamie Neighbors. Boy, that's a good, tough stop. Now, you got a very curious thing here to do.
4th and 2.
Well, not very curious. Choctaw calls timeout because Fort Walton would let that clock run forever. They're going to have to punt. And the only thing they want to do now is just get the ball off. It is 4th down. Yes, it is. 4th and 2.
Don't have to punt. Might choose to punt.
Well, I think you punt in this situation, and then you're going to have to turn it over to your defense.
Well, that'd be a choice, wouldn't it?
What's that?
You say he has to punt. So he chooses to.
Well, yeah, he chooses to punt. He doesn't have to punt. You're right.
See? So now you got incorrect English. There we go. The man. I believe this is his second or third game. Is that right?
He's been a star tonight.
I believe he might have umpired that first game 20-some years ago. I believe he will choose to punt.
You got to protect here, and all you want to do is just get the ball off. Good snap. You always have heart palpitations with this kind of play. And boy, Rod Bryant almost got the ball
out of bounds at the 10-yard line.
Well, that's what you want. Just get it off in somewhere inside the 20. And with about 102.
102.
Choctaw has 90 yards to go. And you know the thing about it, Choctaw has a couple of trick plays, and what I have not seen tonight is their hook and ladder. They have the hook and ladder.
I would believe there's a young Viking
That's
fan.
a very pretty young Viking. I wonder if she knows she's going to be on TV.
She's got a flag on her side. I mean, what's on?
A teddy bear.
There's something on the cheek, though.
Well, you know what? She's watching the football game. You got to appreciate that.
You sure do.
She's not just down here just for kicks.
There's a lot of young fans out here. 1st and 10.
Okay, here's the hook and ladder. There you go. And he fumbled it.
He sure does.
And I think the Vikings have it.
We'll find out.
They do.
Vikings recover.
And that's going to be the football game. Did I call the play?
You did.
It's no biggie.
I might have faked the hook and ladder.
Well, they ran it, and they've run it consistently. Well, they've been very successful. They haven't scored on it, but it's been working, and they tried it the first down. The Vikings, of course, were well aware of what was going on. And then if I'm the Vikings, I just kneel down on the football and say, let's go home.
Big smiles.
Drew will down it right here.
He sure will.
Well, this has been a good football game, Alan. Did it bring back any memories?
I like it because of well, I guess I'm going to have to be a little prejudiced. I like it because the Vikings win. Of course, I pull for those Indians all the time also. I'm neutral most of the time. I got my neutral outfit on tonight.
Well,
but see, the Indians are up 15. What did you say, 13? So now we're inching closer. We'll play one more play here.
And that was a good football game. And the difference in tonight's football game, Drew Roberts.
No question about it.
And the ability of Fort Walton to run the football. And, you know, you just got ahead of the Choctaw Indians. So I knew they'd have a good football game tonight. Their defense provided a couple of opportunities to score tonight. And their offense played real well. But it's just the senior leadership of Drew Roberts that was the difference in the football game tonight.
You know, Choctaw playing a lot of young players and have for the last couple of years. Anxious to see what kind of team they can put together next year. A lot of juniors. And like I say, you know, the great thing, a lot of crowd out here tonight, a lot of hometown spirit. Somebody has to win, somebody has to lose.
Well, the Choctaw can hold their heads up. They still got a lot to, next week they play Leon, or a week after. They're open next week and they play Leon, I think. And I saw the Leon coaching staff here. But Choctaw can still have a great season based on the, you know, just winning their last football games. And they played real hard tonight. They ought to be proud of them. But we got to congratulate the Vikings. They did a good job tonight also. So we'd like everybody to come out and support the Vikings Tuesday night. District game against Pensacola High also.
Once again, if you missed it earlier tonight, a memory and a tribute to Joe Smith, the 91 graduate of Choctaw, Randy Carter, a 72 graduate of Fulham Beach High School, and of course the man, Mr. James Joe Etheridge, who the stadium is named after, passed away not too long ago. You know, 3 terrible tragedies. You know, one of our certainly prayers with them and their families and all this time. But tonight, the happy and the smiles go with the Fort Walton Beach Vikings. The Vikings 27, the Indians 20. Once again, the Indians played their heart out, just come up a little bit short. For Alan Wendell Brock and our entire staff here at Cox Cable, we want to thank you, everyone, for tuning in. As always, good night.
You're watching